Hello friends, hope you are all fine. In this video, I am going to discuss how you can improve validation accuracy. Having a very good validation accuracy is crucial and one of the fundamental goals of machine learning. In this video, I'll discuss different scenarios and issues why your validation accuracy will be low and how you can combat this. Let's get started. Before we move into methods to improve the validation accuracy, it is important to note that your training set accuracy or the performance should be really high. If the training set performance is not up to the mark, you should focus on methods on improving the performance of the training set first. It is really a rare scenario when the validation set accuracy is really high and the training set accuracy is really low. Nevertheless, you might have scenarios where the validation accuracy is slightly higher than the training accuracy. The reasons why a validation accuracy could be low can be categorized under two categories. One is there's a problem with your dataset distribution, the other is overfitting. With respect to dataset distribution, your validation set could be very different than the training dataset, or that the training dataset might not be large enough, or there's a class imbalance in your training dataset. With respect to overfitting, your model has trained well on your training dataset but performs poorly on the validation dataset. Now let's see how to combat the issues with dataset distribution case by case. The first case, when your training data and the validation data are very different, you might have created your data set manually, and due to the reason that both training and the validation data set are very different, and it's obvious that your machine learning model performs well on the training data set but might perform very poorly on the validation data set because it would have learned all the features in the training data set, and since these two are different, it performs poorly on the latter. To combat this, you can use random functions to split the data sets, or if you are storing it in folder, you can use Python's random function to randomly split the training and the validation data set. Or if you want to do it on the fly, you can use built-in functions in sklearn or even Keras. And if you using random seed, you have the added advantage that your validation data set remains the same throughout. This will help you when you're making tweaks in your training model, and so that when you're testing, the same data remains all the time. Now the second case, when your training data set is not enough. When your training data set is not enough, the machine learning model has not learned enough parameters to make predictions correctly on real world unseen data. You can use data augmentation techniques to combat this particular scenario. And the last case is where you have a class imbalance in your training data set. This usually occurs in binary classification, for instance when you're working with a rare health data set, and in this case usually you have one size of a class bigger than the other, and what you can do is reduce the size of the bigger class, reduce the number of samples in the training data set. You can shift all these in the validation data set so that you preserve the class balance in the training data set. Overfitting is the case where your training error decreases while the validation error increases. In other words, your training performance increases while the validation performance decreases. And this is a case where you have really high variance. That is when your model has overfitted your training data set. Different ways to mitigate overfitting. You can use all the regularization methods to mitigate overfitting. You can use dropout by reducing the number of active neural connections, and L1 L2 regularization penalizes the weights in the machine learning model in order to penalize the training error, and this would eventually improve the validation error. And early stopping is nothing but literally stopping at the epoch where the validation accuracy is increasing and the training error is decreasing. So early stopping would stop the training process at this point. And batch normalization doesn't directly combat overfitting, but it's a very good method to optimize the machine learning model. And k-fold cross-validation is a good idea to train with different data sets, but it's generally not suitable for deep learning purposes because the training takes hours and days, and in some cases months too. And data augmentation is a good method to combat overfitting, so that the model will learn new variations of the existing data set. And finally, reduce the machine learning or the deep learning model's complexity by reducing the number of neurons or layers.